with information security training, we could be in danger of encouraging people to rely on tech that they don't understand. Are there better ways that we could combine old and new methods?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure everybody here has probably downloaded Signal or downloaded Tor at some point and maybe played with them, but there are so many different apps, different technologies, different pieces of software, and people may be downloading these and not really understanding why they're doing them. They know, oh, well, this provides encrypted messages, or this hides my IP address, but people don't really know actually what the point of that is. And on a deeper level, you can't really expect journalists to know how they all work. As in, let's say your phone is seized by someone on the border when you're going to the US or wherever it may be, or passing through Jordan or going to Syria or Turkey or whatever. You're probably not going to know whether Signal disappearing messages are forensically sound as compared to Wicker disappearing messages, because you're a journalist, not a forensic expert, and you don't really have time to go and find that sort of stuff out. And we don't really have the answers to that sort of thing anyway at the moment. So, and in the same sort of way, when there are attacks on journalists, maybe through various hacking tools or a piece of malware, you're probably not going to know the technical differences between Pegasus, a piece of malware made by an Israeli company called NSO Group, and RCS, which is made by the Italian surveillance company Hacking Team. You're not going to know how to detect those necessarily, you're not really going to know the differences, and again, you probably shouldn't have to because you've got other stuff to be doing, such as journalism. So, obviously, some technology knowledge is required when we're trying to operate securely, like in a digital space, but rather than just getting a checklist of, well, I have this app and then this thing to mask my IP address and I have this operating system, it's more potentially about understanding the underlying concepts of why they matter and why you're doing that. And just very, very briefly, the point that you're going to do that is not just so you can use those particular tools more effectively, but then you future-proof yourself. So then when Signal closes down or whatever, and we all have to move to WhatsApp or whatever it may be, you can understand how you can then use that tool, rather than just saying, well, now this is the tool everybody's using. You can much more appreciate why it is you're actually supposed to be doing that. And of course, one of these main concepts, and I'll just mention two, there's about 5, and you could debate how many there are, but one would be compartmentation, which is separating information into distinct cells. One might be that, let's say you get a lot of hacked data from criminal hackers, or leaked data. You may decide to only open that on a dedicated laptop, and then do nothing else on that laptop. And security trainers told you this, and you're like, oh, that's probably a good idea, but you don't actually really understand why you're supposed to be doing that. The idea, compartmentation, is that you are separating that from other information, such as, say, your laptop, which has your Twitter account, your email account, your other social media profiles. If you do that separation, you can be more confident that because I'm opening this leaked data on here, this is not going to impact my Twitter account, it's not going to impact my Gmail account. Even though you're not a forensic expert, you've created these boundaries yourself, and then you can be a lot more confident in what you're handling. There may also be something like, in the crypto party yesterday, so we brought up the example of this New York Times journalist who kept repeatedly going to a company website from the New York Times office. And the IP address, when they look into the logs, is like, well, why is this New York Times IP address constantly appearing on my website? They're probably going to make a story about me. That is a case that you would be using a VPN or Tor, as some of you will know, but what you're actually doing there is compartmentalizing your real identity of a New York Times journalist from some anonymous person who's just using Tor. That's actually what you're doing there. You're creating a division there. And then there's concealment, which is, use Signal, encrypt your messages, whatever it may be. And there's also cover and counter, which are a bit more advanced, and then you're getting into a lot of espionage and counter-espionage, and with journalists, we're probably not going to be dealing with that. But just very briefly, one example that we did when we were interviewing the operator of a multi-million-dollar dark web marketplace that sold heroin and that sort of thing. As we were setting up the meeting, we also purposefully in the clear, under the assumption that our emails may be monitored, we set up a fake meeting, essentially, and said we're going to be here at this time, whatever it may be. You could debate whether it'd be an effective tactic or not. We got away, we interviewed the person, it was absolutely fine. But that's, again, the concept under that is going to be counter. It's not going to be set up a fake meeting. So just to sum up, if you can more appreciate these underlying concepts, you can then think about how you're actually going to approach a situation. And of course, easier said than done, you're going to have to find a way in your media organisation to talk about this, someone to train you, because it is advanced stuff. It's not just use Signal, use Tor. And if you're a freelancer, of course, you have to find training there as well. But it's much better in the long run.